Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. It is High Priestess Week, Gemini, which means we're looking into superpowers and kryptonites and all that sort of cool shit. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to look at what your superpower, your potency, your strength is, your kryptonite, which is your true absolute weakness, your nemesis, what comes around at the worst time possible, but, you're surmounted and it ends up making you stronger. And then what is your next assignment, Gem? We're going to find all of this out. I'm going to do it with a number of different decks. Energy Oracle deck, L-Key deck, Tarot of Positive Clarity, and even if we need it, we got the teeny tiny Witches Tarot. What the hell? I'm dirty. I had a rough morning. Anyway, my day's not going great. So I'm going to do the Witches Oracle, though. We're going to start with that. This is the one that I'm using because I know y'all ask. I don't know if I got too close to the camera with that. Often curious. So we're going to pull out a Witch's Oracle card for you. I'm going to see if there's any like information that kind of comes off of it intuitively for you. And then at the very end, I'm going to do the incantation. I mean, like the very end of the reading. So Gemini, it's nice just to be in this space with Gemini. Witch's Oracle card for you, Gemini. Witch's Oracle. Wow, you get two. Look at you. Look at you getting two. You got the owl and the salamander. That is a really interesting energy. The first thing that I'm getting off that right away is it's almost like the salamander is coming out in the spring weather or coming out from underneath like some charred logs. Like it's like a rebirth energy, but this owl is here and it feels kind of dangerous. Like it looks like if the owl sees the salamander, it's gonna grab him and take that. So I don't know, there's some sort of odd energy with that maybe there's a rebirth coming for you. It could be like watching for an opportunity here for some sort of a rebirth, or it could be something, like just be careful. There could be some mischievous energies around you. The underline is the Hag. I just heard you should know better. The Hag. Yeah, kind of when you're at the Hag point, you should know better. Okay, dude, you could pull out kind of like the primary colors there. You got blue, yellow. It is, or it's more like a green. I guess it's a blue. It's a shade of blue that must have a bit of yellow in it because it's a tiny bit green, but let's just call it primary. So basics, blue, yellow, and red here. Okay. Now we're getting really into it. Getting into it. We will really get into that too at the very end. More for Gemini. Gemini's superpower, your kryptonite, your nemesis, and your next assignment. Superpower, kryptonite. Okay, your superpower is anxiety. That's funny because this card reminds me of the Nine of Swords, and that is Gemini's card in the tarot. Aren't you lucky? You get the 8, 9, and 10 of Swords. Those are your 3 cards in the tarot. Lucky you. So there you go. Anxiousness. It probably makes you push through things, or you end up thinking about things enough that you resolve problems. I don't know. Let's see where we're going with this. Your kryptonite is a man holding a coin. It could be people that control like money in some way. People or an individual that control money or have some sort of status. Your nemesis, all tied up, limited options. What in the HE double hockey sticks are you got? This is a really interesting energy. Being all tied up, being anxious, feeling like, so basically feeling like you have limited options here. Right? Okay. This is like literally two. This is, to me, is like the Eight of Swords. So there, the only other one that we need now would be the Ten of Swords. So you got the 8 and the 9 of Swords here. Two really difficult, like, mental energy cards. And one is your nemesis and the other is your superpower. It's like the things that feel like they go against you the most are the things that end up providing you with some sort of drive, regardless of how much mental anxiety it could produce. Honestly, it's producing a good you. And then this, a man holding a coin, is kind of like the King of Pentacles energy to me too. So not necessarily an energy that I would associate with you. And I don't think it is like your weakness. I don't know. Maybe you have a weakness for like a King of Pentacles or something. I have no idea. But it's a kryptonite. Like, this is something you can't win against it. So your next assignment. Oh, just go with your heart, man. Just go with your freaking heart. Display it. I love this card because this card reminds me of kind of like Gemini. I get Cancer and Gemini energies from this. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know why I get Cancer. I don't know, but I do. And Gemini, it just, all the Geminis I've ever known always have a really interesting sense of style and a unique way of like kind of dressing it up or just looking, even if it's 100% like professional and it's like a guy suit or a woman suit or whatever, it's still like there's characteristics of it that are very unique. Flamboyant, maybe. I don't know. You'd think you'd get Leo with that. It's almost like that row of three there is kind of where I pick up this energy, and I get it for you. So your next assignment, though, I really want to say it has something to do with your heart. It's showing your heart in a way that is very unique and different from all the other hearts that are out there. Really, why not? Because anything to do with mental or that's a shit show right now. So hostilities. Oy. Hostilities. Well, could be. If there's something that you're dealing with that feels hostile or defensive, honestly, like, it's kind of saying, I feel like your best approach here is just your heart space. Because adding more sword energy, because this is too like kind of like the King of Swords, but I would say a little, it feels kind of maybe King of Swords because he's holding a sword, but the energy of it reminds me of sort of like the Seven of Wands, you know, like a bit defensive. And your mental energy right now is not the easiest, but it's kind of your superpower, but it's not what you're being asked to activate, you know, in your next cycle. So with the L key deck, they who, y'all who, that's my new inclusive word, y'all. I just met my new neighbor on the one side, not 2 doors down, just right next door. She's really nice. And she's originally from Texas. And we're just talking about that and y'all. So I love it. So it's really, actually, it's quite significant to use this deck because I always have trouble with it. It says she who, but I'm like, I know there's guys coming here and I know there's people that are non-binary too. So it's like y'all. So that's what we're going to call it. The y'all deck. Y'all. Who knew that text was ahead of its time in inclusivity? Text is like, no, we're not. All right. Your superpower, your kryptonite, your nemesis, your next assignment. Okay, with anxiety, you have y'all who wait. Oh my God. Well, it's funny too, because you have the Eight of Swords as your nemesis. How does this end up being your superpower? Maybe you're able to do it longer than anybody else could. Maybe you're able to sit, you know, in mental anxiety longer than anyone else could. Like, it's just like you're the superhero of it. Patience, waiting, determination. Yeah, very. Wow. And then getting in your head over it. It's like, wow, look at you, Gemini. You own it. You know, if you're going to do it, own it. You do. So your kryptonite, your weakness is man holding a coin. Y'all who regret. Battle, victory, and bitterness. Does somebody regret with you, or do you regret? And what does it have to do with this man holding a coin? These questions I have. So, okay. And you have the hostilities card as the underline. And now we have this one. Y'all who regret. Battle, victory, and bitterness. That's your weakness. That's the thing that makes it difficult to recover. I feel like these readings are asking me to go to a level of depth that I haven't hit yet. Or it almost seems like there's really profound meaning in like the energy that we're pulling out for you here. It's all going to come. Okay. Your nemesis is all tied up. Y'all who dream. Escape, dreams, and fantasy. Okay. Interesting. That's very interesting because this came up in a Pisces reading. Not this message, but this energy. And it is because they were the Pisces, it was North Node Pisces, and it actually seemed really relevant to North Node because North Node Pisces is South Node Virgo, which is not necessary. It's not a spiritual placement. It's like very practical, very day to day, very earthly bound, and then switching up in life and going into a much more spiritual, having faith in your dreams and your fantasies and your illusions, and just like manifesting more through the mind and the dream space than the physical space. And one of the things that came out in that reading that was shown to me was an example of two individuals. And one actually is funny because it was kind of shown, like I would describe it as this, the man holding the coin, like a Capricorn, maybe even a Virgo, or a Taurus, like a very earthly grounded energy, somebody who's like really established in the 3D, has probably worked through a lot of hard physical things. And then you have that character. There's two characters in this, and bear with me because this is what your nemesis is what I'm describing right here. And because it's a nemesis, it's almost like you get thrown into that isolation chamber, because that's where I'm going with this. So the next character in this is the poet, is the romantic, is the person who perhaps dresses, like this, very flamboyantly, and is a bit of a dreamer and a fantasizer. And, maybe is the artist, the painter, has many affairs, or it doesn't have to be that, but you know what I'm trying to say? This is a very romantic person. If you were going to look at the two of them and compare them, if there was going to be some kind of hardship here, my money as a person is going to be on that Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo type energy. It ain't going to be on the poet. I'm like, okay, all right, Mr. Poet. They both get thrown into isolation cells. There's nothing there. There's nothing. Okay. And this is what this Eight of Swords feels like. Like there's very limited options here about what you can do in there. And because those three earthling signs, and it's nothing against them, it's just what came out as a symbolism of what we can all harness to get through periods that are not easy, when there's very little control we have in our environment. And that's what I get from that all tied up Eight of Swords energy. The universe said, my money's on the poet in that situation, because that's the person that can live beyond where they are right now. That's the one who's going to get through the 3 months in 3 months. Wow. Solitary. I was going to say 30 days, but 3 months in solitary confinement. When you open the door, the poet comes out. They're both really like, but the one who can pick up and keep going is the poet, right? And that's the energy that you're pulling, because the earth energy, there's nothing there. There's nothing you can work with. There's nothing that you have control over. There's nothing, absolutely nothing that you can manipulate or utilize except your own body and your mind. You could sit and you could do pull-ups and push-ups, sit-ups, anything, like squats, things to maybe try to keep your body physically active. But in the darkness, I don't know how far that could take you when there's like nothing around you to stimulate you except the poet's mind, because it can travel. That's what this is. It's your nemesis. So it's almost like you keep getting thrown into this solitary confinement chamber. And that solitary confinement chamber is representing some sort of limited movement ability that you have at this time. Okay? It's like it keeps happening to you, but because it's the nemesis, it's what makes you stronger. And it's like your anxiety and your waiting. Do you see, it's like being put in isolation. Your anxiety and waiting becomes your superpower. You have more strength of the mind than anything after this. It's so profound. Really, it really is. Such a profound message. And so, yeah, and then all tied up, your nemesis, with escape, dreams, and fantasy. Do you see what I'm saying? It's that message that I pulled out in the Pisces North Node. And then, okay, so your next one is woman holding a heart. That's your next assignment. Y'all who prepare, formulate, strategize, and devise. So it could be some sort of movement of your heart here. It could be something that is, excuse me, the burp wasn't supposed to come out. I started eating raw vegetables again, which is something I have not been able to do with what's been going on with my mouth. It's just too difficult. I didn't have enough molar to molar contact and I had that for lunch today. So all the raw vegetables are probably gonna make me burp, but I'm so glad to be able to do that again. Life is getting better for my chewing ability. Yeah, this could also be like something to do with, like just expressing yourself in a way that you haven't been able to, maybe. Maybe that's really it, because you haven't been able to do something. You can't do something. You're into something. Okay, to go with your underline of the hostilities card, you have y'all who instigate. Leadership, provocation, and power. So maybe there's some sort of leadership. I mean, the King of Pentacles could be that too. Could be a boss, could be a husband or a father, a partner. Tonight, your weakness. Okay, I want to say too, if there's some sort of position of power that you have, if you're in some sort of position of power, maybe more likely at work, maybe to do with personal life, could be a little bit of both. That energy isn't serving for, at least I want to say what your next assignment is, if I was going to look at it like that. Because this has a feeling of too, maybe even like 5 of Swords, like, certain things needing to be eliminated regardless of the cost. It doesn't matter. It just needs to be done. That bridge needs to be burned. What a really fascinating reading for you, Gemini. Maybe the man holding a coin could also be like an archetypal energy that you have battled in the past. So now the tarot, we're going to add 1 to each of these rows. The 3 of Cups. So your superpower. It's odd energy. Doesn't go at all with. Maybe it has something to do. You're anxiously and patiently waiting and determined to wait for some sort of, I don't know, is it a get together with people you haven't seen in a while? And why can't you? Like, what is this? Is a really, like I ask these questions because I'm like, what would this be in your life where you can't? I guess there's a lot of scenarios, and whenever I'm confused or I don't understand how that could be. Y'all put stuff in the comments that like, yeah, I guess I could see that. So I don't know. There's something here, or there's some sort of celebration that you are held back in, or you're waiting for. or someone you haven't seen in a while. Your kryptonite here, your weakness, man holding a coin, battle, victory, bitterness, temperance. I mean, patience. You got it all over the place. You got waiting, patience, confined with, you know, all tied up. Allowing an energy to alchemize. If there's something that, somebody that you want to, I don't know, like get together with that you haven't seen in a while. It could be someone in a friend group or some sort of a group here. And all you can really do is almost allow some sort of energy to subside. It could also be like, why do I feel like I had there's a reading coming up. I totally forgot about it. Coming in here, like it's relevant. It had to do, was it you? I feel like it was you guys, Gemini, where the reading was about like two people who like as kids kind of like maybe learned to play catch together, played football on the same teams, and then you go into the big time, the major leagues or whatever, that professional, and you both end up on separate teams, right? Because there's something here about like battle and victory, like you have to win. So, because what I'm getting with the temperance card, like this alchemization, it's almost like time has to pass by for something to be mended. So you wait anxiously. And I feel like waiting anxiously, there's almost like, will the opportunity pass me by? I don't know. Because with what's sitting on the table, I'd have to say that there's some sense of knowing if you do something now, it's not going to be successful. If you wait and allow some sort of alchemy to take place that has to do with some sort of situation from the past, then the energy will be okay, and then that would be more successful. But because there's anxiety there, there's got to be something where you feel like the opportunity could just pass you by. Or let's say, like, it's someone that you're thinking, you know, I'd really like to reach out to them. Things didn't go so well at the last family reunion now. I think I just need to give it a little bit of time. You know, like it's that. It feels like that. But then it's almost like, well, what if they change their phone number? Or what if they move? Or what if I can't, you know, I don't know. It's curious that. So your nemesis is all tied up and dreaming, escaping into dreams and fantasies. The Three of Wands. It is. It's kind of like imagining what's to come. So you can't. You obviously you can't do something. So you're just, you know, waiting and imagining. Okay. Your next assignment is to formulate and strategize and devise something to do with woman holding a heart. The Seven of Cups. Is it to bring some sort of clarity? Clarity of the heart? Is it to actually maybe to figure out how to get yourself out of this problem? Could be that. But I don't think the solution is your mind. I feel like the solution has to do with your heart and your feelings. Because that's the part that I would say is maybe confused with the Seven of Cups. So it's to come up with a plan about that. It's not to think your way through a solution. It's to feel your way through. And I feel like I've said that for someone else recently too. The Strength card is at the bottom. And I'm not done because I need some tiny tarot. All right, the Three of Cups. The Lovers, well, there's you. So it's you in some sort of group here. And the Three of Wands, which is what's down here that you're fantasizing about. So, yeah, you're waiting on something here. I don't understand why. I don't know. Well, let's go to Temperance. Let's go to Temperance. Seems like a simple... It's okay. So, Nine of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Page of Swords. Oh my God, and Temperance again. 9 and 8. Waiting, okay, something to do with... I mean, maybe you're waiting for some sort of time period here. There's got to have something to do with time, right? With Temperance. And, but, you know, and this, just like, you sit and you watch. You watch, like it's driving me crazy. Sis, you're watching and watching. I almost want to reach in the camera like, what is this? Because you're watching and it's heartbreaking to watch. So you don't do, but you don't do anything. And then the 9 and the 8 of Pentacles. This is almost like being sovereign from your work or starting your own business. But I don't know, is that really where this goes? I mean, you do have man holding a coin. There's some sort of conflict here between your work, what you work on, where you're meant to invest, I guess, your time and effort. But that's not the direction, right? Like the next assignment has to do with your heart and your expression and feeling your way into your future. It's just working on sovereignty, perfecting it. All those noises. Who's out there? Is that Larry or Lily? It might not be both. I have the windows open now, so I can get used to all the different noises. Ah, yeah, you've got a really, I don't know, this reading. So the Three of Wands, this is your nemesis. The 8, oh my God. The 8 of Cups and the Hanged Man. I tell you, I don't think I have felt this energy since maybe within the first year or so of the pandemic. What is it? Like, is it a restraining order? I don't know what this, like, because it feels like that. It's like, you can't do what you want to do. I mean, that is coming across as the strongest message in this reading. And it takes me back to reading tarot for the collective, like within the first year of, maybe even the second year. Because then it was just getting ridiculous. The energy was, if I get the 8 of Swords and the 4 of Pentacles one more time as a reader. But that's what it was, right? Completely like detached and observing. There's this very Piscean energy. It's trying to reconnect. I would say, if anything, this nemesis is about trying to reconnect and see a way to do it. Reconnect with your heart space, reconnect with things that have become very distant to you. All right, the next thing I want to do, because I feel like I have, I'm going to get up. I feel like I have 2 specific, like court cards here. So I want to see, tell me about the man holding a coin. This is your weakness. The man holding the coin. Karma, judgment. So it's difficult. It's difficult. It's complicated. This could be some sort of karma that has to be resolved before you can do something. That's weird. I don't know. This person might suffer from dandruff. It's such an odd thing. But there's like these little white things on there that I couldn't get off. So, karma, judgment, a new beginning. This could be a new beginning that just feels like, maybe it feels like somebody else, I could see that. Somebody else has control over a new beginning. A woman holding a heart. That's a lot to say here. The Knight of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles. The Seven of Swords. The Queen of Wands. Ooh, this energy's got a lot of power to it. I mean, look what it did. Like it did the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. It did like a slow burn, honey. This energy is a slow burn into a new opportunity that creates full abundance with it. Like, this is like, I have a business plan. I don't care if it takes me 10 years to execute this plan. Once it's perfectly executed, I will have the funds. And then once I have the funds, I will build the biggest corporation anyone's ever seen. I don't know, and it just could be like, even maybe it's just saving your money to buy a house or something like that. I don't know. But then the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Not everything is known here, is it? Not everything is known about the creative process, creative expression, independence. Very interesting. And, you know, maybe this is you too, like, okay, so you've been in some sort bright, because we're getting the Nine of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles. It's almost like trying to perfect self-sovereignty in some way. That's your weakness. Okay, but so your next assignment, though, if this is something that you're thinking about a lot, it's all about the expression. There's something that you're hiding here. Whoa, Billy Joel's coming in. I keep hearing, it's all about soul. Yeah. All about soul. So that's funny. I can't hit the notes that he does. He has such a masculine voice, but he can hit really high notes. It's a Billy Joel song. All about soul. I haven't heard that one in a long. I like that one. But that's kind of like your next assignment. It's all about soul. There's something here creatively that you've been hiding. That you're avoiding. That's your next assignment. It's almost like all the practical stuff. Well, I want to say, yeah, I feel like, because the man holding a coin feels like the King of Pentacles. This would be the person kind of in charge of that energy. So now, but it's like you need to do something here very creatively that you're not expressing. It's all about soul. And then formulate, strategize, and devise. Y'all who prepare. The Page of Cups. The Magician. I feel like the Five of Swords, the Sun, and the Fool. Well, this is like using a little bit of your heart and soul here and letting that grow like a seed in the earth. Planting it. That's your first step. I feel like, though, that you've done that step. And it's almost like, no, because you're cutting out this magician energy. It's like, it's no longer time for that. You just go right into the Sun and the Fool. It's like the best energy ever. This almost, too, just feels like taking a chance on yourself. The Seven of Cups. Which is the Eight of Swords. And the Six of Swords. Moving away. Okay, right? Because once you open up this space within your heart, you are able to move forward. Whether it's confusing, you don't know what direction you should be going in, you're not really sure what's out there to find. But that's the thing. And let the universe guide you. But it's like you bring the sails to the boat and the universe produces the wind. Now, if you bring a sail that's full of holes, the universe can blow all day long. It's not going anywhere. Because there is an element of you that you need to bring in. It's almost like you stitch together. It's like, my sail is full of holes, Cindy. I've been down so many rivers and so many paths. It's full of holes. It would look weird if I stitched it up. Stitch it up like a Gemini. Stitch it up to bling it. Stitch it up to make it very unique and unusual. Stitch it up and let the universe kind of blow you in the direction that you really meant to be going in here. You got the Strength card at the bottom. Again, you have it twice. There's more here to what that I'm getting. Like it definitely feels like you need to do something like with your heart here. Your heart is the answer, and the way you express that is your solution. But it still feels like you're holding yourself back. Why? I don't know. I really don't. You all got your own reasons, right? So, the Witch's Oracle. Let's go. You're getting 2 incantations. I'll get you. I need to know. Yeah, it's getting darker in here too. Okay. The Owl. And then the Salamander. Well, now that I say that. Okay, the Salamander is associated with Sagittarius, and Temperance is Sagittarius energy. And Temperance is the energy that's coming in for me. Like, it came in twice. And it just is like holding something back, right? And what did I say at the very beginning? It's almost like, you know, a new beginning here. The Owl could snatch it. So I don't know. Let me see what the Owl is all about. Oh. Where is it then? I saw a P. Oh, there it is. There's only one. Oh, that's okay. Owl. During medieval times in Western and Central Europe, it was fabled that owls were actually witches and wizards in disguise. To this day, the owl is considered a witch's familiar, sharing unique spiritual communication between each other and even sharing the same secret powers of the night. The owl has been deeply connected with magic, shamanism, and heightened senses throughout the ages. Some have thought of the owl as a cat with wings, as they share similar characteristics of personality. Now that's really funny, because Taurus had the underline of like, well, it was a familiar, but it was like the eye of God seeing through the familiar. The meaning. Owls symbolize wisdom, the ability to see things that are hidden, omens, deception, observation, and total truth. Trust your intuition at this time. Pay attention to what is going on in your world, and you will not only instinctively know what to do to solve those issues that have been weighing heavily on your mind, you will be able to see and bring about things that are yet to come. So yeah, right? Like there's just, and maybe the owl is not specifically what would snatch the salamander, but it's almost like the symbol of it is the knowledge given, because the salamander representing a rebirth. So the incantation, I always say it's best to say them 3 times, say them twice, yeah, I'm going to say it once as long as I get it right. Okay. Spirit guides and teachers, please let me see the hidden world that now surrounds me. I need to see clearly both inside and out. I need your assistance. Of that, there's no doubt. So that's interesting. There you go. There's that one. And then the salamander. Salamander. The salamander is a diverse and unorthodox creature. The symbolic meaning of the salamander is fire. They like living inside rotten logs that are sometimes gathered and burned. When placed in fire, the salamander will attempt to escape from the log, thus creating the impression that it is created from flames. They regrow their tail and limbs if lost and near-missed bites from their predators or other calamites. This is symbolic of renewal, regeneration, rebirth, and growth. It is a message that there is never total loss, and you must seek out renewal whenever possible. The meaning. The salamander comes to those who are in need of change in their lives and asks us to evolve. Salamanders are magical creatures who will reveal to you how the energy of your will can be used to alter and recreate the environment around you. That's interesting, because your energy or the environment sucks. I don't know, at least like what I'm picking up in this reading. Change isn't always cheerful, and it isn't something we often fear. And it is something we often fear. But when the salamander appears, these changes are meant to be meaningful, positive, and enlightening. Perceive the changes going on around you and adapt to your best ability rather than fighting against them. So the incantation. What once seemed lost can be replaced. All things can easily be retraced. I embrace the changes. They will serve me well. All fear and negativity I now do expel. I always feel like I should be standing on top of a mountain. Sky opens up. Okay, so maybe in a past lifetime, but not this one. Right now I feed the dog and pick up her shit and litter box and all that stuff. I'm going to go to the extended Gemini. Okay, in the extended, I'm going to see what from your past still pulls on you, what from your future is trying to push you forward, how this push and pull affects you, and then how you can allow all things to flow freely. Oh my God, yeah. Whoa. Oh, Gemini, thank you so much, my friends. I still hear Billy Joel. It's all about soul. I can't, what the hell does he say after that? It's all I'm hearing. I kind of hear the rhythm of it. It's all about faith and keep believing. Is that what? I don't know. It's funny. Anyways, okay. Until next time, Gemini, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.